I'm gonna get going like this. Can you hear me?
Yes,
You can hear me.
I can
All
hear
right.
you, I can see you.
Perfect. Well, hello everyone then. Welcome to tonight's free live call. I'm Kirsten Grelling-Visman. I'm clarity and career coach for women in transition. And I just wanted to thank you for joining me tonight on this live call. Well, it's night, at least in my part of the world. It's nice and dark outside. And I'm just really happy that you've joined this call, because it means that you must have some dreams that you have been parking elsewhere and not been pursuing, but that you wish to reconnect with and to actually pursue. So I hope that this call will give you the opportunity to actually reconnect with the possibilities that are out there for you to make your dreams happen, and to actually give you the chance to relight some fire under your dreams, be that personal dreams or professional ambitions. So we have about 45 minutes to an hour to explore these dreams of yours that you have let go of, or that you have parked for the future, as I just said. But I love you to get the timing right, and the timing is right now. But before we jump in, I'd just like to take a minute or two to review the live call guidelines, so that I can ensure a successful call, because you're calling in from different places across the globe, and it's a live call, and there may be lots of distractions around you, telephones, or you may be consuming a lot of bandwidth with other web pages that you have open. So you may want to just close these down and make sure that your background noise is down to a minimum. And I think you're all in a place where there's very little noise distraction anyways. But otherwise, if there's too much noise, just mute your microphone, which you can do at the bottom of your window, depending on how you have the screen in your computer. It's either at the bottom or at the top. At the moment, mine is at the top, but yours may be at the bottom. So I love to know where you're from and who you are when you're speaking up. So don't hesitate to share your name and your geographic location. And most importantly, really, these live calls are much more valuable and fun when you get involved. So please see it as a safe space to share what matters to you and which you don't share. If you don't want to share, that's fine. But this is in general a conversation where you get to talk about things that you don't generally talk about when you meet someone at a party or at a schoolyard or in the office or at a playground. These are inspired calls, and I hope to continue this in the near future. However, there's two quotes that have inspired this call. The first one being that 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones that you did do. So throw off those bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, and catch the trade winds in your sails. Explore, dream, and discover. And these were famous words by Mark Twain. He was an author, and he definitely did his share of exploring and dreaming and discovering. And I see that you don't manage to see the bottom one, as my screen has pulled up. Oh well, I'll have to fix that in the future. However, the second one is actually a quote by Mary Oliver, who asks this big question of, what do you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? And that's where today comes in. And I'd love to hear from you. If there's any people here who are currently living their wildest dreams, if there could be a raise of hands somewhere, or a message in the chat box. I don't think that's popping up. So with respect to no one living their wildest dreams, that's a big reality check, I think, at the moment, which is very good for me to know. Is there then anyone amongst you who's waiting for the right time to make their dreams or their ambitions happen that they've had for a very long time but never dared to pursue? Oh, it's quiet on the line. That's all right. It's any scares. And I have a chat. We've got Ariane answering from Canada that she's working on reaching her dreams. All right, well, that's a big step already. Would you like to share anything that you're doing about reaching your dreams? All right, not yet. Well, we'll move on. Who knows? Maybe we'll get there. Okay. Is there anyone out there who just thinks that your current life is just all there is about life and you'll just have to suck it up and accept it as it is and give up on your dreams because reality is it ain't gonna happen anyways? I hope there's no one there, because that actually will make me very sad. Okay, well, Ariane here, who's the one who's daring to speak up, is working on reaching her dreams. And, you know, it's always easy to park those dreams. And there's obligations in life. There's expectations from others. There are, you know, the fact that you just have to earn a living and live your life. But I like to still get back to some of this, because for those of you who are waiting for the right time, and those who have stopped chasing their dreams altogether, you know, I'm wondering what you're waiting for, because it's easy to say I'm waiting for the timing to be right. However, I don't think the timing ever is right. And if the timing is never right, what are you waiting for it to actually happen? What needs to be in place for you to say, listen up, I'd like to move on with my dreams and I'm going to pursue it now or never? Because I have a friend of mine, for example, who has always had this dream to travel to Japan. Okay, she was infatuated and mesmerized by Japanese culture, Japanese food, Japanese fashion, as she was growing up as a child. And then life happened. She graduated from high school. She went off to university. And even though she had a vague dream in her mind of joining an exchange program and going to study in Japan that way and get to experience the culture life, she still hesitated and didn't pursue it. So from there on, she graduated from university, found a job, found several jobs following on her graduation. And she's down about 10 years down the line now, and she is really at the phase where she thought, well, there's got to be more to life. And what happened to those great big dreams that I had? So she's actually come around and said, look, I had these dreams. I was passionate about this. I still want to go and pursue this. And even though she's going up for a completely different career option, she's found a way for her to go to Japan for at least 6 months at the moment, where she can teach English as a second language, where she is also going to join in cultural programs where she'll get exposed to some of the ancient Japanese culture, some of these martial arts that are practiced out there. She's got some sushi making classes lined up. And she's actually working with a tutor who will help her with her conversations classes. So after those 10 years of work, you know, that means she's coming up to her mid-30s at the moment. she's really said, you know what, the timing is never going to be right. And she's just actually taken the bull by the horn and said, now's my day. And off she goes by the end of July. And what I've seen with her is that she's come up with, throughout her life, there was always these stop signs that came in on her path, really, in the way of her dreams. And those stop signs for any one of us who aren't pursuing their dreams or their careers are, for example, around family. You know, either you're raising a family or your kids are still too small in school. May feel selfish for wanting to pursue your dreams while there's other obligations. You know, other things that come up often amongst my coaching clients around this is that there's this lack of time in business, professional, or personal schedules. And there's also a lot of fear of the unknown, or fear around others think, as well as the social obligations that they feel that they should be living a certain way or working in a specific area, or just being a full-time stay-at-home mother, while deep down they've got a whole different set of dreams and ambitions. So I'm here tonight to actually shake you up a bit and draw you out of this paralyzed state so that you can stand up for what you really want out of your one wild and precious life, in the words of Mary Oliver. You know, I'd like for you to walk away with some clarity around your dormant dreams and ambitions, and some actual action steps that you can start taking tomorrow that will actually get you closer to living a life of your choice, doing the things that you're passionate about, and that actually bring you fulfillment. So therefore, I'd like you to find something to write on or to take notes on, be that a electronic device, or be that some paper and a notepad and a pen. So there are two big questions that I'd like to dive into first with you. And the first question that I have for you is, what have you always wanted to do that you haven't done until today? This is where you imagine that money and time presented are no object. Are there any ideas popping up? Is this something about traveling, creating something, or starting a specific kind of business, or changing careers altogether, not work at all? What would you be doing different? What would you be pursuing? Anyone? If you were giving a chance over again, I want you to think really hard on that for just a minute, okay? Because from there, from you thinking about what you've always wanted to do, I want you to take a big jump actually, and think about what your forbidden fruits are. What about what that is actually is where I want you to stop creating the illusion that you can't achieve any certain things. And this is about taking all your so-called taboo concepts off your taboo list. If you dive into those two elements, it could help you determine the direction that you want your life to take. And once you've realized this, then you can actually move to make it happen. It doesn't come without any fear, really, and anyone can tell you that. Anyone who has made their dreams happen or not, or feels that they failed in making their dreams happen, will tell you that that fear element will always, always pop in. And fear is what also is something that can use as a catalyst to actually push you to making your dreams happen. And fear pushes you out of your comfort zone, and in your comfort zone everything works nicely and smoothly, and you're safe and happy and content. But nothing much happens, and you may not feel that energy and that excitement about life in general. Well, I want you to feel that excitement about life in general again, and I want you to actually realize that you can make things happen, and that it is important that you make your dreams happen. However, once you do take that step and you have the courage to take whatever it takes for you to get moving, and that may involve certain risks, at least what you perceive as risks. But once you've stepped out onto that road, there's no going back. And of course, that can be even more scary. But once you're on your way, you just grow, and you develop. Your confidence gets a boost because you're doing something that you love. And of course, yeah, you know what? You can go weak at the knees, and it can be super, super nerve-wracking. And every now and then you want to turn around and run backwards a little bit through your legs like dogs can do. But I'd rather have you move forward instead of turning around or staying stagnant. If you want a better life, and if you want to find that fulfillment that you really, really are looking for, I think we all do, then it's time to bite through that fear of failure and start creating that life of yours that you have so craving. It should be easy to do that because it's something that you love to do. But of course, we become experts. I think I'm no different from that. You know what? We've always come up with great excuses, and those excuses are about being too busy, about having bills to pay, not having any time for yourself. And I think another big one is that we're settling, or settling for a life or a society who put expectations on you, or you let that happen. And a lack of clarity and a lot of procrastination, I think, are some of the biggest problems we have around making our dreams happen. But if you want to live life on your terms, which I'm doing now, and even though I'm traveling the globe, and even though I am on my way to pack boxes to move out of Zambia, I still get to live life on my terms because my business goes with me, and I get to do what I love every day, wherever I am, and all I need is an internet connection. Now, that isn't always a given in Africa, a good internet connection, but it is very possible, and times have changed a lot. So I have this incredible portable career that has given me the platform that I needed to live my dreams. And all that was needed for that was clarity on my behalf. And that's what I would like for all of you, is that you gain that clarity so that you can know what lies ahead. And if it's dark in what lies ahead for you, you know what, even if you were to put your fog lights on of your car, you would still be able to see, right? So if that means that we're able to turn on those lights for you so that you can move forward, it would be a great thing to come out of tonight's call. So we start going from here. We're going to do some work. Are you ready for that? Ariana, are you ready? Because I want you to write down on a piece of paper or on your screen. How am I going to move to my next screen? I want to move screen. I want you to write on, there we go. I want you to write in this slide. like in this slide, you know what? I want to write on the top of your paper, your dream life. Well, my dream life, really. And that piece of paper gets divided in 3 columns. And each of these columns say something different, because it's about the things that you want to do, the things that you want to achieve and to experience, and the things that you want to be in life. All right. From there, the trick is that you start writing nonstop. This is something that you can do outside of this call, straight as you get out, or you can start writing as you listen to the rest. But initially, what you'll start to notice in this exercise, it's a great one, because if I were to do this with you as a one-on-one client, I would have you do this in 15 minutes. And in those 15 minutes, I would ask you to write 30 things in each one of these columns. Of 30 things are the things that you want to do in your life. And it doesn't matter. It can be as wild as possible. For you, as crazy as possible, where people may think, but that's absolutely insane. No, this is about you. I don't care what the others would think about that at the moment, because there's themes that we can pull out of this one, and it actually helps you to get some guidelines. So where it is that you want to go with this is that you want to get up a list with 30 things on each of these columns, the things that you want to do. For example, on my behalf, I'm already starting my list for our next destination, and that's to see the gorillas, to visit the mountains, to enjoy time at the biggest lake in Africa, to visit the River Nile, because it starts in Uganda. Well, however you look at it, it either starts there or ends there. I want to recreate my super successful coffee coach mornings that I have hosted here in Zambia. I want to meet a very large variety of people who can show me all the ins and outs of the local culture. So you see, those are all the things that I want to do. But I guess the thing is that happens if you were to sit down on it, the initial things that come up on that list may be very superficial. And the more things that you add onto that list, they bring a lot more meaning to your life, and the things that you want to achieve and to experience, and the things that you want to be. For me, one of the big things I want to be is I want to be a happy, loving mom, wherever that is. For me, that's very important. But it's also very important for me to be an inspiration to others, to pursue their passions, to create the careers that they are absolutely passionate about, where that gives them fulfillment, so that their life, their quality of life, just skyrockets. Those are, for example, things that I want to be. And I've put a lot of thought in these in the past. And I want to be the best friend, the best sister and daughter. Those things come up on your list. And I would love you to take some time out to actually start writing this list. So I am going to give you, let me see, I'm not going to give you 15 minutes because that would take out, but seeing how there's very few people on the call, maybe I should just leave it for you to complete afterwards. But I'd love you to share some of the things that are popping up, if there is anything to share. Don't be shy. I don't mind. I won't call out by your names. I will just see what pops out of this. I've given you some of my examples on purpose. And I would love to hear if there's anything else on other people's list. Something has popped up. Let's find out. Ooh, I love what's come up here. We've got someone saying how she wants to be her own boss. And I think you can hear me better now on top of that. be your own boss. I think that's one that comes up on many people's lists, to be honest with you. I think the challenge of working for someone may sometimes even feel that they're walking away with your dreams and you're just working for it for them and you don't get all the credits for it. All right. Work out every day to feel fit and energetic. A great one. And if you don't manage to do it every day, that's perfectly fine too. 2 or 3 times a day is, 2 or 3 times a week is also something that could be really satisfactory. And eat healthy. Oh yes, I think nowadays we're confronted with so much of the unhealthy aspects around our eating habits. That is a great one to have on your list, and learn as much as possible in your area of expertise. And I think that's one of the must-haves for your success in reconnecting and pursuing your dreams, is actually to gain as much knowledge as you can. There's a wealth of information out there online. There are experts out there who are so experienced in being successful in everything they set themselves to do. And I think there's a great research opportunity for you, as long as you know what area of expertise you're looking at. You can look at the people who inspire you. You may have some people who you highly regard and who come up with some quotes that inspire you, or articles, or who have walked the same path or similar path to what you're going through. There's no more excuse to not do any of that research, because it's been done before, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel in anything and everything that you do. And get a mentor if you need help to get those things going. But these are really, really lovely input that I've just received. And another one has just come up, which is to experience the feeling of success. Well, that's, I think, I want you to be successful. All right. However, it all depends also on your definition of success. So your definition, my definition, your neighbor's definition, or your partner's definition may be a very, very different definition of yours. So for you to have that feeling of success, you need to first get clear on what does success mean to you. And this is actually one of the first questions I ask the participants in my Coffee with a Coach mornings masterminds in Lusaka. And that first session is about defining your success. And we've discovered that there is a very wide variety of success, and the influencing factors around that are huge. These are expectations from parents that come up with that very highly. It's also what is seen as success in the society you grow up in. What is seen as success through the eyes of the people you love, because I think that's where people want to show the most success, is around people that they love. And success can be all sorts of things, and most of all, you get your definition clear and be willing to share it with people. Don't shy away from people saying, but that's not what success is like for me. And if success for you is being the director of a Fortune 500 company within 5 years from now, or before you're 45, for example, then beware of what that can also mean for you, because it can be great becoming that. But I've also heard a lot of stories where success comes at a price, where going to the top of that company and being that top manager of that company, it also has implications, and it gets very lonely at the top. So yeah, you want to gain that expertise, but you don't want to alienate people around you either. And there can be different ways for you to still acquire all the experience that you want to be that kind of a leader. There's just ways around that. Just be aware of what is the ideal scenario for you, for your success, and then we'll start working with that and merge that into your long-term vision and your dreams, and from there define the action steps that actually help you go in that direction where you are going to be successful. And all of that will help you boost your confidence straight away. So people actually, when you feel that you're being successful and you seem to exude that feeling and also that confidence that comes with that, there's a lot of people who will actually see you as that being that successful, you know. And for people that may mean millions in the bank account, but for other people it may be being able to spread a message and have an impact on people's lives at a very, very different angle. So thank you so much for sharing all of these, because I think there's a lot of people who can identify with those things and with those topics as to the things that you want to be, the things that you want to achieve and to experience, and the things that you want to do within your life. Now, I think there's something that can throw you off the beaten track in living that dream life of yours, and that is actually the shiny object syndrome. You know, the grass always can look greener on the other side, but you know, you want to have a destination locked in sight, because it's less easy to get distracted by newer or more exciting opportunities that suddenly seem more appealing than the original game plan that you have. But that's where reality does come in, and clarity is so important. So whenever this shinier opportunity arises, you want to ask yourself, how will this being the shiny object help me achieve the goals on my lists, when you're referring to those lists that you've just been having a start at? And you know, it's an opportunity for you to say, listen, yes, I see something that's more interesting and more appealing, and why don't I go ahead and do that? But actually, before you just jump onto opportunities like that, it's like, okay, but if this is where I want to go in the long term, how is this opportunity going to help me get there? And if it's not going to get you there, then please steer away from it, because you want to be able to also enjoy the journey and every moment of that journey. Because people often, you know, when failure seems to arise, people get affected by that, and their confidence gets a bit of a hit. But failure, again, in achieving what it is that you set yourself out to do, is also a great opportunity to grow. So if you see it as an opportunity to grow, you can enjoy the ride of it, come up with an alternative plan, and actually, when you do make it, you can appreciate that moment that you reach that finish line, and you can actually say, off my checklist, I've done it. Fantastic. Put in a moment to celebrate that time, and you will actually feel a lot better about your journey, where you've enjoyed it, where you've experienced the setbacks and the obstacles that may have come in your way. But with the fact of you having clarity and a plan, I think your success will definitely be a lot, have a higher success rate. So, and you know what? Just see failure as a chance to learn from your mistakes, instead of seeing it as a failure, because you don't want to lose sight of your dreams. And when you stop enjoying the ride, and when you stop focusing on what it is that really matters, I think it's easier for you to ignore your instinct. And what's important for you, when you want to achieve the things that you want to do for your life, the things that you want to achieve, the things you want to do, and the things you want to be in your life, No, you want to trust your instinct. You want to seek out new challenges, and without coming across too many hurdles, because we invented the wheel, right? Well, not we as, but in the past, the wheel has been invented by some great scientists, and continents were discovered by great explorers, and people have walked on the moon. Oh, we never thought that was possible. So, but people had a dream around that, and they drew it, they wrote it down, they talked about it. And that's the message that I want to give to you. And that is to write down what you dream of doing, write down what you dream of achieving, write down what you dream of being. It's like you're making a vision board actually for your life. And with that vision board, you have got the end in mind. It's a very famous quote, and by Stephen Covey, is keep the end in mind. Because when you keep that end in mind, you've got a possibility to retrace your steps and put your action steps in place that you need to do to help you get from where you are now to where you want to be. And the thing is, if you put something in writing, or you've got something visual to look at, like a vision board, it actually helps you to put everything into perspective. And there's something that transforms your every want into a reality. There's some shift that happens internally. And that's where I love you to have this list, your dream life list, as a guideline for making your dreams happen. Because this could also give you the opportunity to stop feeling guilty about anything that you want. Because I think guilt is a big obstacle for many people to actually pursue their dreams. And the guilt actually happens as it's triggered by people's responses to where you're saying, look, I just want to have this out of life. However, you are actually the most important person in your life. And you can only care for others and worry about others when you put yourself, your well-being, your health, and your happiness. It needs to come to the forefront of your life. And I'm not saying ignore everyone else's wishes. No, but keep your own wishes in mind and see how you can integrate that into the people, into the lives of the people that are part of your life. Because it's natural that you want to be, it's natural that you may be afraid to let go. I think that's what I'm trying to say. It's natural that you're scared that you may fall off the rails. But actually, it's time for you to let go, because the second you let go, that's when things start to change and when your dreams start to happen. And, this list and getting clarity around your dreams, that it's just no quick fix to changing your destiny, not at all. Because it takes time and patience and perseverance. But if you want something bad enough, making the impossible possible is a lot easier than you think. And that gives you an opportunity to live the life that you love and love the life that you live. So this has come to the end of our call. I think we've gotten through the conversation that I set out to have with you tonight. And thank you very, very much for sharing your experiences and your expectations and your dreams with me tonight, and the obstacles and the fears that you may have. So I look forward to seeing you again soon, and I'll be hosting those live calls regularly. I need to see how that goes with me on the move for the next 2 to 3 months. However, I'm very much excited to do this on a monthly basis, where you can just call in and we have a conversation around the topic that matters to you. So enjoy the rest of your evening, and I look forward to seeing you again in the very near future. Thank you so much, Ariana, and enjoy the rest of your day, your corner of the world. Bye.
Thank you.